ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Good morning to you. It is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. And this morning, we're going to talk about being busy for the right or the wrong reasons. And so I think, being busy is something that we all deal with. I think that we're gaining some serious perspective on this topic right now. Because of the situation that we're all in, maybe just having a little bit more downtime than we normally did. And we can kind of assess, exactly how, quote unquote, busy we are and maybe some of the things that we've been missing as a result of just being busy. What's happening, Ryan Austin? Good morning, Patricia, Trisha, Mark, Jared, Hal. How you doing, guys? Jeff Johnson, what's happening, brother? Thank you guys for jumping on here. I think that right now has been a great time for us to really, really look at Mr. Callaway. Look at you, man. 4:30 a.m., 4:40 a.m., I should say. And Chris Filippelli, good morning, guys. And there's my beautiful wife watching this morning. Good morning, babe. So I think that this is a really great time for all of us to gain some perspective on exactly how busy we are, on a day-to-day basis. And most specifically, probably how busy we were before all of this kind of shifted, right? And so I look at my own situation and I say, man, there's a lot of things that have been happening that I've really enjoyed during this time that we've been down. And I'm looking at, when we go back to full throttle racing, in life here, and we all go back to our normal routines, how do we better manage our time? How do we better manage that feeling of being busy so that we are not just caught up in the moment and just, kind of go back to the way that things were, but yet we reassess and look at, maybe how things could be, a little bit better. And so I would ask you to take some time today to consider exactly how busy you were. And if all of those things that you were doing before, things kind of shifted here, we all went into, stay at home mode, are all those things necessary? Are all those things a priority the way that you thought they were? For me, plenty of those things, I'm looking at and saying, man, I'm not sure that all of the things that I've been doing every single day are going to be back in my routine when things go back to normal, as they call it. So, we talk a lot about balance in today's world, and a lot of people use the terms work-life balance. And for me, that's a really touchy subject because I just think that people use that term to extremes either way. What's happening, Dylan? Good morning, man. What's happening, Bob Kopesky? Good morning, brother. And Carla, Bruce, what's happening, guys? Hal, good morning. People use that term work-life balance, I think, to extremes too often. So either, they don't work enough because they need balance, right? They claim that they need balance. Or a lot of people out there in today's world are also blending all of that together and giving themselves a pass for working nonstop because that's just what they think they have to do, And I don't agree with that. I think that that the word balance is the accurate definition. There's a lot of words. I just had a call the other day and we were kind of joking about the buzzwords as a result of everything that we're all going through right now, like pivot and we need to be nimble and how, we kind of chuckle at those words because they're so overused. And my point to the people that I was talking to was we don't look at those words differently because of the words. We look at those words differently because people are misusing them. So balance is also a word that I think is, greatly misused in today's society, because we look at either at using it as an excuse for what not to do, for what we're not doing, or we use it as, a way to kind of blend our whole life together and not pay attention to anything but our work. But either way, I think that, there's just some touchiness to that word balance, or to the words work-life balance. And so I would ask you guys to look at that and really just, Trisha just said something here. Her husband learned by completing 75 hard. There's way more time in the day than you think. And that is true. It's one of those things that you have to shift your day around. You have to figure out how to get the most out of your day. This show was a way for me to get more out of my day. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm here, 20, 30 minutes every morning. I have to prepare for it. I have to, spend some time thinking. But this show has created discipline in my life that has given me time back. It has given me a lot of time back. And so if you think about that, if you think about how busy you were before, how balance, when the real true definition of balance, how that can lend to a lot of great things for you by trying to pack more in, but always understanding, what you're really looking at in your life, from your family to your children to your own personal time, the things that you want to do, maybe a trip that you want to take, being able to look at that and decluttering your life to not just being busy, but being effective. And I think that being busy in today's world, you start to get awards for that. You start to get trophies for how busy you are. I keep using air quotes, but it's like that word busy drives me crazy, because I don't feel like in today's world that we use it effectively, that we use it the way that it's supposed to be used. Busy is not something that you want to be. Effective is something that you want to be. And just look at this time that you've had right now to, hopefully spend some time with your family, hopefully declutter your mind and really look at what are you doing every day and figure out if busy was the answer, because I'm going to guess that it wasn't. Busy with purpose, I think, is effective. Busy without the noise, busy, in an effective fashion is what we're really looking for. And so busy for the sake of being busy will not give you a happy life. It will not give you a happy life. It will give you a chaotic life in most cases. And, we talk a lot about discipline, about self-discipline, about being grateful, about all of these things that kind of pack into, this perspective that I want you to have for your life. And I want you to look at your life and truly feel gratitude for how fulfilled you are, how productive and effective you are. Not necessarily for just how busy you are, because I know for me, and Zach, good morning, man. What's happening, Mark Ferrelli? Good morning, Andrew. Thank you guys for being here, man. And listen, we all go through times where we are, in fact, very busy, like Zach is saying, extremely busy. And you just have to make sure that you're not just busy, but that you're also effective, because looking at your life and trying to make it busy is what I see a lot of people doing. I see a lot of people out there trying to look busy, and they think that by looking busy that they will also appear to be important or successful, or, some other definition that they are looking to fill in their lives. That's what they are doing. And they think that by being busy that, that is going to be the answer. And again, busy has a lot of definitions, but by the way that I look at it, because of how people use that word with me, when I'm coaching them, when I'm talking to people, it's just not an effective way to live your life. You want to be busy, but you want to be effective. You want to be organized. You want to be intentional. You want to be, at the end of the day, happiness is what we're all in pursuit of. Fulfillment is what we're all in pursuit of. So I just want you guys to be careful to arrange your priorities to where busy is not your only goal. It's not the only measuring stick that you will have, but all of those other things that we've talked about this morning will be on that list. And I think if you can do that, you'll be on your way to living a much better life. You will be a better leader, a better husband, a better father, a better wife, better everything, right? I think that it's a really important topic, especially right now as we're starting. I think most states are going to start to transition to get back into some, at least attempt to get back into some sort of normal routine. So I just want you guys to, take inventory of what you have done over the past 5-6 weeks here and really look at it. What did you improve during this time? Spending time with my kids, a little bit more time with my kids has given me incredible perspective. And, it has made me want to be more effective, because the more effective I am, the more time I get with them. The more I can pack into, a certain number of hours in my day, and I'm not, doing quite as much at night in the evenings or into dinner time, the more fulfilled my life will be, because I know that from the past 5 weeks, I've gotten more time, sitting with not quite as much to do. We still had a lot to do, but not quite as much to do. And that's given me perspective. And so I hope it's done the same for you. If it hasn't, maybe you should spend some time, today or tomorrow or early next week before everything goes, because when everything goes back to, open and normal, as we call it, we're all going to be sucked right into the draft of that. And that's, it's going to take off. And all of these times that were so precious to us are going to be gone, and they'll become a memory, and possibly a distant memory, because I think when things go back to normal, it's going to get a little crazy for a period of time. And so I would ask you guys to just think about that. How busy are you? And how busy do you really want to be as we go back into, again, what we call normal life? Think about that and be intentional about how you're planning your days, how effective you are being in those days, and continually look at yourself, look at your routine, look at everything in your life, and see if you can find a way to be less busy and more effective. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope it's given you some perspective, because it's an important topic for me. I think I see way too many people in the world just trying to be busy, and not really thinking about what that all means. Absolutely. If you guys haven't, Bruce brought up a good point. Chapter 8 in David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, talks about scheduling time, and talent is not required. I think that's the title of the chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Talent not required. Talks about how much time you actually have, and if you schedule it properly, what you could get out of your days. And I say this all the time, but chaining together a bunch of successful days is what creates successful weeks, and then successful months, and then successful quarters, and successful years in your life. And as you get those all tied together, you will see exactly what you're capable of in a day. You'll see what you're really truly capable of in a year if you get a bunch of good days, a lot more good days than bad, because you're always going to have bad days. But if you get more good than bad days, and you can chain together a bunch of wins, a bunch of good days, you're going to end up with a life that you can't believe. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you do that, give you some information and give you some perspective, give you some ideas every morning to think about that will help you live that life that you want to live, a life of fulfillment, a life of satisfaction, a life that you look at in the mirror and you're proud of the person that you see. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, guys. So I appreciate you guys being here with me this morning. We did get all moved into our office yesterday. We got moved into our new office space. Well, mostly moved in. Everything's not completely done yet, but we got everything hooked up, and we are ready to roll this morning. So I will see you guys at some point from that office. I'll give you guys a little tour of where we moved into and show you the inside of how the Pavement Group operates. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys that all helped out with the YouTube channel yesterday. We're up to 111 subscribers. So we're making progress there. Bruce Pulver, I appreciate you sharing it on your page. I know there's a couple other people that shared it on their page as well. So I'm grateful for that. Again, all of these episodes are on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. You guys can catch them anywhere, and you can share them from there. So if you don't want to share the Facebook stream with people, because some people don't have Facebook, there's still some people out there, you can absolutely just go look at YouTube, and every single episode is there. There's also going to be some unique content coming over to YouTube. So if you guys aren't subscribed to that channel, please go over there and do it. It's just my name. You can search my name and it'll come right up. You'll see my picture there, and just click that subscribe button, and you'll see some unique content coming to there that's just a little bit different than this. So we're going to try to mix it up on the different platforms so we get some reach there, and hopefully you guys can help me grow all of these platforms. If you guys haven't invited people to this, to my public page, the Brian Hess public page, I would appreciate it if you do that. I know we had a lot of success when I asked people to do that on the Pavement Group page. We've got 1,300 something new likes on that page. So if you guys could do that today, you just go to the page, slide over to community, click that button, and then invite your friends to like this page so that maybe more people can find this stream in the morning. It's an easy way to get people introduced to the show. So again, I hope the message was impactful this morning. I hope it gave you a little bit of perspective, and I will see you again right here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m., same place, same time on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.